Hey everyone, and welcome back to Fruits of the Spirit. Today, we're looking at the Hebrew midwives in Egypt in Exodus 1 verses 15 to 22, and seeing what we can get from that. Essentially, the Israelites, or the Hebrews, were slaves in Egypt, but the Pharaoh realized that the Hebrews were increasing rapidly in population, so he decreed that all male babies would be killed, while the females would be saved. The Hebrew midwives were taxed for doing this, but two of them refused to do so, despite the chance of facing death by disobeying the Pharaoh. Why would they take such a risk to save babies that weren't even theirs? They did so because of what was said in Exodus chapter 1 verse 17. But the midwives feared God. So what is this fear of God? Well, the fear of God is what makes someone refuse to sin. It was King Solomon who told us this, that those who have the fear of God see sin as disgusting, in Proverbs chapter 8 verse 13. The fear of the Lord is to hate evil, pride, and arrogancy, and the evil way, and the forward mouth do I hate. Even in the face of great temptation, when we have the fear of God, we choose what's right. An example of the fear of God in action is when the three faithful Jews in Daniel 3 decided to not bow down to an idol, even though the punishment was sure death by a fiery furnace if you didn't do so. Here was their response to the king. If it be so, our God, whom we serve, is able to deliver us from the burning fiery furnace, and he will deliver us out of thy hand, O king. But if not, be it known unto thee, O king, that we will not serve thy gods, nor worship the golden image which thou hast set up. This is the same determination that was able to make the Hebrew midwives take the decision to save the male children. Now, that was the opportunity they got to show their fear in God. All of us will also have our own opportunities to show our faith in God, and there are many different ways of doing that. It could be not agreeing with our friends, family, or others online in discussion, when some of them or all of them uphold secular views, and will do so despite the persecution we could receive, so that we can be a light unto the world if someone is looking for righteousness, as Jesus Christ said in Matthew 5:16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works, and glorify your Father which is in heaven. As women, there are many things that fellow women do that are not exactly right. One of these things is focusing a lot on themselves, or like how they look, instead of a relationship with God, or not being submissive to their husband, even though he's the head of a marriage, as Paul said in Ephesians chapter 5 verses 22 to 24, or focusing on a career, which would cause children, if they have any, to spend more time with a babysitter than with them. Or they could decide not to have children at all, so that they can have a career first. If we want to fear God and be an example of a different life, a different option women have, a righteous option, we'll do the exact opposite of these things. We'll let our husband lead and put our children before a career we could have, as God wants his people to teach their children about him, as we can see from Deuteronomy chapter 6 verses 6 to 7. And God will never leave those who serve him properly hanging. For the midwives, it was said in Exodus chapter 1 verses 20 to 21 that he dwelt well with them and even gave them houses, because they feared God above Pharaoh, showing that they not only stayed alive despite their defiance to Pharaoh, but also prospered. We know from Hebrews 6:10 and Matthew 16:27 that those who serve God in faith will be rewarded for their service and will not be left hanging. Those verses say, For God is not unrighteous to forget your work and labor of love, which ye have shewed toward his name, in that ye have ministered to the saints, and do minister. For the Son of Man shall come in the glory of his Father with his angels, and then he shall reward every man according to his works. So, even though the midwives were only talked about for a few verses in the Bible, we can clearly get a lot from what happened to them. But that is the end of this video. If you want to support my channel, you can click the like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. so you'll be notified of when I post on my channel again. Have a great day, and I'd love to see all of you soon.